On Fresh TV, perfect pizza in the perfect setting.
You're going to have to give me the recipe for that dough. That is amazing.
Match food to wine like you know what you're doing. Rob's got the only guide you'll ever need.
Cooked cold prawns, fantastic with this.
And who else could make a quokka crack a smile?
G'day, welcome to Fresh TV. I hope you've been enjoying summer. It certainly inspired me to create something today that sticks with the theme.
So another salad then, Myles?
You better believe it.
Well, I'm getting really hands-on today. I've teed up a bit of a cooking lesson in the great outdoors.
Excellent, I look forward to seeing what you've learned. You hit the road, come back, and I'll have a summer feast all ready for you.
Looking forward to it. See you later.
See you soon.
Well, you hear a lot about wine matching and wine pairing, the art of matching wine with food. It can be complicated, but there are some simple rules to better understand which wine goes with which food. Well, today we're going to find out more. We're talking to an expert. Well, let's talk about clean skins first of all, before we get into the wine and food matching, because that's important. What is a clean skin?
A clean skin is just a wine that doesn't bear the standard proprietary label of the producer. We've created a range of our own brands, and we help wineries move excess volume.
Righto, Steve, let's get started on this. Now, this is a Sauvignon Blanc, which
Yes.
is a classic. Everyone loves this.
And from Margaret River.
And
Yep.
from Margaret River. Let's have a taste. Now, tell me about the wine, first of all. What is a Sauvignon Blanc?
Well, it's a combination of two grape varieties, obviously Semillon and Sauvignon Blanc. So the winemakers alter the percentage. So this one has more Semillon in it. That's why the word Semillon appears first. And Margaret River does a great job of it. They've got a great reputation for it. And it's a very, with the Semillon added to the blend, it creates the citrus flavour, and then you've got that nice fruit follow through from the Sauvignon Blanc.
Steve, food-wise,
Yep.
I would recommend with that cold prawns, cooked cold
Yes,
prawns.
beautiful.
Fantastic with this. Any of the crustaceans are great. Yabbies are fantastic with this, but particularly cold, not hot. It's a great summer wine, isn't it? A
Oh,
great
it is.
summer food to go with it.
A Riesling is a grape variety that originally originated in Germany. Australians have cloned that variety, and they've really converted it now to a dry style. Strong citrus flavours. They're absolutely magnificent. Great food matching with seafood, oysters.
Yeah.
This one here is from Pemberton.
Yeah, Pemberton is a great region, isn't it? And it does great wines like this, particularly Rieslings and Shirazes as well.
Pemberton has that cooler climate throughout the winter, so it's good for this grape variety. It has a long drawn out summer as well, but this is a great mineral based Riesling. It's got that great dry citrus flavour. Perfect wine with food, with seafood in particular.
Now, you mentioned oysters earlier, and I couldn't agree more. This style of Riesling, the dry finish, that lovely minerally backbone, this is an oyster wine through and through, isn't it?
Yes, definitely, without a doubt.
So fantastic.
This is a Denmark Rosé 2016, and just a magnificent wine.
Now, what a lot of people don't know is rosé can be made out of any red grape, and in fact they are. You can get anything from Grenache to Cabernet to Pinot, or blends of all of those things. So the base wine can be almost anything you want it to
That's
be.
right, Tempranillo. There's
Yep.
the base wine. They use so many different varieties.
Food recommendations for this? Gee whiz, what about a great goat's cheese salad or something like that? Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
Lovely knobs of goat's cheese, rocket,
Yep.
just a light dressing. Steve, it's been a real education. Thanks so much for having us. It's been great to try some of these wines too. So we'll see you in a couple of weeks' time,
Looking forward to it.
because we have some red wines we're going to try, and we'll be back here in a couple of weeks' time to have a crack at those.
Just going to head off to IGA, pick up a couple of things for dinner. This is the City Beach store. Wow, pretty upmarket. Check that out. What's that?
So I'm making our handmade tortillas that we make fresh every single day.
So how many of these would you do in a day?
We make around 960 a day. So there's 120 in a batch, and we do 8 batches a day on average.
So we're here with Kate from the City Beach IGA. How are you, Kate?
I'm good. Welcome to the Boulevard, Myles.
This is beautiful. This
I
is
know.
new, right?
Yeah, it's brand new. So 3 months it's been open. Multi-million-dollar fit out, and we're really proud of what we've done.
Right. So what makes this IGA so unique?
I think it's the fact that we have a lot of artisan producers in here who possibly only bring stock to 1 or 2 stores. really, really into WA produce.
I want to make a salad today. I want to make
We have good fresh produce.
some baby spinach. I want some field mushrooms, really fresh.
We've got all of that covered.
Yeah.
And we've got some gorgeous spinach from Wanneroo and some South Australian mushrooms.
Got everything I need. I'm heading home.
Coming up, no competition. Why WA's blitzing the field in fresh produce. And come with me into the man cave of restaurants.
Could life be any better? A brewery and pizzas.
Well, I'm back at the Ferguson Valley, this time at the Wild Bull Brewery, which is another great spot to come and enjoy some live music, these amazing views over the valley, and of course, some pub grub. Now, I'm here to get a head start on next week's cooking, so I'm going to get a crash course in how to make a really good pizza. The wood-fired oven's been heating up for about 3 hours now, so it's just about ready. Danny Drummond's been in the food game all his life, running restaurants, hotels and a catering business. Recently, he and his wife Jenny gave the Wild Bull Brewery a rebirth.
Well, we moved to Ferguson Valley 2 years ago and this place was closed. And have a look. We come up here, saw it closed and went, wow, gotta have it.
Now, back in full swing, it's the perfect place for Danny to indulge in his passion of pizza making.
Could life be any better? A brewery and pizzas.
For an authentic Italian-style pizza, Danny starts with prepping the pan. So his first tip, use semolina for texture and to stop the dough from sticking. Tip number 2, track down a good recipe for pizza dough and make your own.
Straight on like that, and this is what you want. You want all this stuff here because that's going to make the pizza.
Gives it character.
Yeah, give it heaps of character.
Next, toppings. And tip number 3 from Danny, resist the temptation to pile them on.
Less is best.
So you really shouldn't overload it, because I never know how much to put on.
And they won't cook properly.
Yeah, it goes
You know,
soggy.
it's in the middle, base
Yeah,
goes soggy,
yeah,
in the middle's
that's my problem.
Yeah,
Okay.
less is best.
Right.
The Italians got it right.
Okay.
So, first up, what you need to do is get your sauce on. So, about a level
Yeah.
spoon on there.
Not too much.
Don't get it on the edge because what will happen is your pizza will stick.
Ah.
It'll act like glue and it'll stick to the tray. So next, you want to just put a small amount of cheese across the base. And again, try not to get your cheese on the outer layer. From here on in, I can't help you because your eyes are going to look there and tell you what you want on there.
Okay. Well, what do you think? What do you have to have on a pizza?
I'll show you what I'm going to do.
Okay.
I'm going to go spicy sausage, some olives, give it a nice bit of salty whack, and that, believe it or not, with a bit of parsley.
Yep. That's it. That's your perfect
That's
pizza,
my perfect pizza.
Whose is best? So
Alrighty.
this is the prosciutto, isn't
That's
it?
the
Oh,
prosciutto.
that's really going to give me some really nice, strong
You'll
flavours.
get some great salt there.
Ooh. Goat's cheese. Can't
Goat's
go past
cheese.
the goat's cheese. Tip number 4, use good, fresh ingredients and you'll notice the difference.
Good fresh ingredients,
Yeah.
really important.
A bit more cheese, and for an extra kick of flavour, some salt, pepper and parsley to finish, which adds some, nice colour.
Yeah, the parsley's fantastic.
Pizza loves seasoning. That's tip 5.
What do you reckon?
Beautiful. Yep.
We whack them in?
Yep. And Danny's got a few more tricks for when they come out.
3.5 hours south from Perth, you end up in this magnificent place, Manjimup. Amazing soil producing some of the best produce in the world. My first stop is an avocado farm. It's producing 200 tonnes of fruit from 4,500 trees.
We grow a very, very good avocado. They're very, very sought after in all markets, Eastern States markets and Perth markets. And it's just an absolute quality product.
It is amazing how nutty a flavour they get as well down here. They seem to have much more of a nuttier flavour than... Do you find that?
They're definitely very nutty, yeah. And even if they're a little bit green, if they're a little bit firm, they're even more nuttier. They're a very trendy food at the moment, now, and the consumption's increasing, and the demand is very, very high.
Here's where the avocados are sorted. Only the best quality avocado is allowed to go to market under the local brand. It's not just avocados that are grown in these parts. Over 50 different varieties of produce, everything from pink lady apples to nuts and truffles. The growers have got together and formed the Southern Forest Food Council. It's charged with marketing the region's food and making sure consumers and wholesalers know where this fantastic produce comes from.
And it gives them the power then to support the WA farmers.
Correct.
Rather than, because they can identify it, it might be a little bit dearer than the imported stuff, but,
And
that's
worth
what we
every
call
cent.
it. Absolutely.
We have such fresh produce and it's readily available for us in our local IGA stores.
And we also do things in partnership with Southern Forest, which is all southwest fruit suppliers, where we're helping to promote them, and they're also bringing some beautiful quality produce into our stores.
So yeah, WA consumers are really blessed for choice, through what we've got, the variety of food and the freshness and the quality.
Absolutely.
You've only got to travel to Hong Kong, Singapore, all those other countries around the world.
Bevan is spot on. The quality of this produce in this region is second to none. So keep an eye out. When you see the Southern Forest Generally logos and stickers, you know where it's coming from and you know how good it's going to be. Oh well, we're in the IGA store. We're looking for Manjimup avocados. Fantastic.
Look for the genuine sticker.
Look for the sticker. Great. Thanks for that, Tony.
No worries.
Well, our pizzas are done and they're looking great.
That's perfect. You should have a little bit of burn.
Danny's tip number 6, a wood-fired oven's always best for cooking pizza, but if you're not that lucky, at least make sure it's a really hot oven. And lastly, so that's the final tip,
That's
olive
the
oil.
final tip.
Right. Don't forget a drizzle of olive oil. Oh, wow. Oh, yeah. You're going to have to give me the recipe for that dough. That is amazing.
It's a good dough.
And I see how that seasoning on top really gives it a good bit of kick.
Makes a massive difference.
Thanks for giving us your tips today, Danny.
A pleasure.
Right, so how did I do as a pizza chef? Do I have a future in the industry?
A grade, you're on the roster.
Focaccia, don't buy it, make it. Reanne shows us the easy way. And will Rotto's famous bakery pass the Tony test? That's next on Fresh TV. This segment of Fresh TV is brought to you by WA Cleanskin Cellars.
Hello and welcome to the beautiful Winnings Appliances showroom kitchen, where I'm going to be showing you how to make a great pickers focaccia from scratch. So we're going to start with the most voluminous ingredient, that's all of that semolina goes in. Flour's in next. From there we pop in our yeast. And then some sugar, very important. We need to give the yeast something to feed on, and sugar is perfect. And of course, a good 5-finger pinch of salt. And we're gonna mix these through together so we don't get any little pockets of yeast later on. This is what makes a focaccia a little bit different from standard white bread. Lots and lots of fresh, extra virgin olive oil, 350 mils of lukewarm water. So using our knife to just really cut through the mixture. Now when this starts to come together, it's a great time to pop in a good handful of fresh, roughly chopped rosemary. We've got a sticky dough that's just starting to come off the side of the bowl, which means we're just about ready to get some semolina on the bench, turn it out and start kneading. Lots of semolina over the top so my hands don't stick. We're gonna start with a nice rolling action, so using just the palm of your hand, give it a quarter turn so everything's nice and even, drag it back and then push forward again. This is why every Italian nonna has big guns. But what you're looking for essentially is something that's really, really lovely and smooth over the top. Glass bowl here, ready to go. And of course, more olive oil. And this just coats the bottom of the bowl. Get your hands in there, wipe it right the way around. And that way, when we go to tip out our bread later, it's not stuck to the bottom of the bowl. Absolutely beautiful. So we're just gonna put him to bed for a little while. Tea towel over the top. And it'll probably take about 45 minutes to prove. It really varies though. So in the middle of winter, when it's really cold, it might take a little bit longer.
Today's Fresh TV kitchen is found in a Peter Stannard home. And for more inspirational homes with amazing kitchens, go to stannardgroup.com.au.
So summer to me is all about simplicity. You can't get any more simple than a salad. So first things first, we just want to chop up the bacon. Now you don't have to be too clean, too lean with this. Just simple chops. When cooking with mushrooms, remove the stalks. You don't need to. I just find it more flavoursome without the stalks. You don't have to be too precise cutting them up. Mushrooms shrink anyway. So the bacon and the mushrooms are sizzling away on the barbecue. Let's make a balsamic vinaigrette. equal parts balsamic, olive oil, and just a little bit of sugar just to neutralise some of the acidity. Whisk that up, just until it emulsifies. Bob's your uncle. Okay, so now the fun bit. We've got some sizzling hot mushrooms and bacon. I want to pour this into the spinach just to get some heat through that. So just toss that through, use your hands, a bit of dressing, give it another toss through. Now we plate up. Plenty of parmesan, you never have too much parmesan. And I just finish that off with a bit of balsamic around the edge. And there we have it. Summer salad.
So here we are today at Reanne. Usually I'm dealing with chefs and the culinary delights of humans, but today, instead, we're going to talk about quokkas and what they like to eat with Cass. Let's go meet her. Quokkas are amazing little guys. They are super cute and very friendly. Cass is Rottnest Island's local expert and she's agreed to take me to a secret quokka habitat. There are 10 to 12,000 quokkas here on Rottnest.
They're native to the island, but they're also found on the mainland in southwest Australia.
Check this out, a mother with her baby. Now that's cool.
They're a marsupial, so they're from the same family as the kangaroo and the wallaby.
When they are first born, they're only the size of a jelly bean.
And that climbs up into the pouch and attaches to the teat, and they suckle there for 6 to 7 months.
So normally they like to hang out at night, but Cass explains many are now active during the day because of the impact of people and the availability of food.
You know, we ask visitors not to feed them and not to touch them and not to give them water as well.
That's because their diet of native plants is what keeps them strong and healthy. Human food puts them at risk of becoming sick. One thing people just love to do is get a selfie with these little guys, and that's okay.
We encourage people to use selfie sticks, not to approach the animal themselves. If the animal approaches them, then that's okay.
It's great to see these little guys are in such great shape, and you're guaranteed to see one on your next visit to Rottnest. And I reckon that alone is worth a trip. Now, something else which is worth the trip is a quick stop at the bakery. So, Ali, I've been hanging out with the quokkas all day, learning all about them. They've built up an amazing appetite, and I hear you do have some of the best pies.
Oh, you hear right. We do the famous rotto pie here. You should come in and try it.
Well, yeah, have one?
Yeah, let's go.
Good pie.
You can see it's doubled in size, and that's what you're after. You know that it's proven as much as it's going to. So we're going to knock all the air out. We can start by getting a little bit of emotion happening in here. It's a bit sad. From there you can see this is just going to shrink right down. So we're going to give this a really light, gentle knead because we want to keep as much of the air in there as possible. We get a tray, line it with plenty of olive oil, and get in there with your hands. So we're just kind of pushing the dough out. Traditionally eaten by grape pickers during the wine season. They'd make a standard focaccia and then just push fresh grapes from the harvest into the dough. Grapes go in. To finish, I'll say it again, quite a bit of olive oil. And we're just gonna spread that right over. Now to season the top, some flaked salt. And to finish this little guy off, nice little fresh burst of rosemary in here. So I've let it sit for another 10 minutes so it can plump right up again, which means it's now ready for the oven. So our little man here has been in the oven for about 35 minutes, and you can just see he's browned up beautifully. We're gonna cut this up, eat it with a little bit of olive oil, maybe a little bit of parmesan, and this will be just perfect when we have friends over this summer. I look forward to seeing you next week.
Eating out this week? Stay tuned, Fresh TV's got you covered. For more great ideas and recipes, see Fresh in the Today Lift Out of the West Australian on Thursday. Hungry right now? Here's our picks for tea tonight. First up, it's Petition Kitchen in the heart of the city. A great atmosphere, share plates and exquisite food. For Japanese cuisine in the burbs, try Kabuki Japanese in Victoria Park. The locals love it. For an authentic burger experience, you have to try Alfred's Kitchen in Guildford. They've been making great burgers since 1946. In Freo, Strange Company is definitely worth a visit. You'll find little dishes with big flavour in a relaxed bar setting. In our southwest, I like Tokyo Jack's in Victoria Street. You'll find all your Japanese favourites and some with a modern twist. In Margaret River, Maury's comes highly recommended for tappers at a great range of mouth-watering meals. And they're our picks for this week.
Okay, voila. We have a wilted spinach, bacon, mushroom, parmesan, balsamic vinaigrette summer salad.
Wilted spinach and everything, that's pretty fancy. I'm going to have to step up my game next week.
Oh, you will.
Don't worry, I've got a plan.
And we'll see you next week on Fresh TV.
See you then.